Welcome back. You're watching CTV News Channel. I'm Dan Matheson. The government of British Columbia says an independent investigation is being set up to look into last week's riots following the Stanley Cup game, Game 7 in Vancouver. The review will look at the size of the crowds, the role alcohol played, and whether recommendations from the Stanley Cup riot in '94 were followed. Yesterday, Vancouver's police chief admitted many of those charged with offenses for participating in the riots were not anarchists, as first suggested, but mostly just young people without a criminal record. Joining us now via broadband from Port Coquitlam, BC, Dave Teixeira. He is a communications consultant who developed the website CanucksRiot2011.com, a website designed to identify, perhaps even catch Stanley Cup rioters. Mr. Teixeira, we spoke with you last week. It was, I think, just the day after the riots. You had set up your website. Yep. It was remarkably successful almost immediately. Lots of people were coming to your site to deposit and to view. What's this past week been like for you?
The views on the site continue to grow. We're at roughly about 400,000 at this point, and the information continues to come in. What seems to be happening is people are building upon information that other people have provided. So, for example, there was one particular person who wore a very distinctive type of running shoe, and so as people went through their footage and through their video, they discovered that same person was in their footage. So we're able to make almost collate all the information together to get a better identity of the criminals.
And is this in some way being used by police?
Very much so. I mean, I've had contact with the Vancouver Police Department, with ICBC, who's our insurance corporation out here, the Premier's office, etc. They're aware of the site. And again, my site, CanucksRiot2011.com, the purpose of that is for people to actually report directly to the police. And then the website acts as a repository for all that information. So we're not looking for people to shame. We're not looking to be a vigilante site, rather to just get the information, collate that information, and get it to the police.
Well, however, if that was all you were trying to do, you wouldn't have to have views, would you?
Well, I'm not sure I quite understand your question, Dan. I mean, the idea that we want to have views is so that the public can come and identify these people. And that's what it's about. A lot of the tips that have gone to the police, and there's been in the hundreds, if not the thousands, are because of citizens who are outraged at the criminal activity get involved. This is no different than in Western times putting up the wanted poster or putting out information on newscasts such as CTV, etc. This is just a faster way to do it. It's a little more unregulated and certainly a little more risky, but the information is being gathered, given to the proper authorities so that the proper authorities can deal out and dish out the justice.
Okay, my question, I guess I didn't frame this very well. What I meant was, once people have been identified, and I don't know to whose satisfaction, yours, maybe you're the only judge of this, but once they've been identified, do they stay up so that everybody can see over and over again what they did?
Well, yes, the information that's up there, there's a section on the site that says ID'd, and there's people who have been ID'd and forwarded to the police. It will remain up there until charges have it's successfully gone through or unsuccessfully gone through the legal system, or if the police then indicate that that person is no longer a person of interest. But to take it down at this stage would not be productive. For example, there's a young underage person from Maple Ridge who had a really tearful apology, who claimed he only did one offense. We've now come to find that he allegedly slapped a young woman's breasts. We also found information that he threw beer bottles. He had a knapsack full of flammable material and set other fires. So again, this person came forward, said he only committed one crime, and now the public is saying, well, wait a second, this guy's lying. Here's more information to show that he is a lot more involved than his teary confession has said. So that's why the information is staying up, is so that additional information can be brought forward.
Are you concerned at all about any legal liability that might come your way?
I absolutely am, and which is why I've had a law firm in Victoria, British Columbia. They've offered their services to me. I have had overtures of legal correspondence from people, and I've had, for example, young people and families say, take my child's photo down from your site, and I've said, please identify who your child is on the site. And of course, they don't wish to do that. I am prepared to defend what my site is doing. My site is merely collecting information which is already available on the internet, collating it and providing it to law enforcement. That's it. There's other sites that are out there that are doing things differently, but that's the goal of my site.
When you first went up, I think everybody thought you were doing a public service, and I think everybody would be strong now. There seems to be a lot of criticism of your site. Have you been surprised by this?
Actually, there has been criticism of my site, and let me explain why, Dan. Similar to newscasts and similar to news channels, you have your right wing, your left wing, and you have your tabloid type of style of newscasts. And similar in the websites, that's what we're finding. And I find that my site is middle of the road. We don't allow racist comments. We don't allow innuendo. Other sites are allowing that. And furthermore, some sites are suggesting that you actually harass the criminals. We're not doing that. Our site is merely to collect and enforce. So again, I think all sites are being painted that way, which is unfortunate, but I could tell you not all sites are doing that. Dave
Teixeira, nice to speak with you again, sir. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Dan. Thank you.
His website, once again, is called CanucksRiot2011.com.